Oh, my microphone works.
You're jealous.
You are genuinely jealous.
Yeah, you got to press the button, Jeremy. This is how things work. It's at the bottom.
There's a little tiny button at the bottom.
You see where it says on off? That thing there? There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
This is the best the Bills have looked in years, to be fair.
All right. How's everyone doing?
How you doing? Good work.
That was not good enough. How's everyone doing? All right, we're not recording yet.
We're
going to be
not
recording, so we want to mention a few things to you before we record the show, because this is going to go out like Roseanne, like a live broadcast television moment kind of thing. That isn't a guy being shot out of a cannon, which is over there. So before I go on, the bar is, as you probably noticed, over there. It is closing right now, but it will be open as soon as the show is finished. So stick around, okay? And there'll be food as well, okay? Ooh. All right, thank you to our friends from Ticketmaster for that. The other thing is, there may be some naughty words in the show tonight. You bunch of animals, okay? And
I'm so tempted right now.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Cora.
Oh, sterling work.
So, it's important to us that we keep the energy going throughout this, okay? So I want to kind of bring out our little mascot, little being the operative word, who keeps this going, an original gangster at scale. Big hands for Ilan Rabinovich.
Bring it up.
Fight the power.
It's bad voltage time.
Fight the power.
Give it up, Ilan.
This is a man with no shame.
No shame.
That is quite possibly the best slide that's ever been on a screen at scale.
Just look at your clock's the wrong way around. Thank you. Give Ilan a round of applause, everyone! Alrighty. So, let's practice a little bit for when the intro music kicks off. That's when we get going, okay? So, when I do this, I want you to get louder and louder and louder. You ready? Louder? That's pretty good.
Dance puppets.
All right. So when the music comes on, right, I'm going to show you when you have to go loud, okay? So this is the music. So this is the intro bit. It's a bit long. We didn't write this. I'm sure you're surprised. Okay? Hang on. Wait for it. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1, go!
Do we think they've got it?
I think that's all right.
I think they've got it.
You can tell we
Not
didn't
bad
write
for a
it.
practice run.
Okay, all right. This is going to be the real one. We're going to start recording right now, okay? So when you get to that point, loud as you can be, okay? You're representing Scale and Linux tonight. Okay, here we go. Hang on. That thing doesn't work. Okay. You can have a head bob. Make your Ticketmaster bandanas go. Okay, here we go. You ready? Oh, yeah. Get up!
Hey!
All right!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bad Voltage Live.
Welcome to Bad Voltage Live. This is Jeremy, Stuart, I'm Jono. Is everyone having a good time? So we're going to have a good time tonight. First of all, big thank you to our friends at Ticketmaster. They are providing the booze, the food, those bandanas that should be on your heads. Big round of applause.
Give it up for Ticketmaster.
They really have been a great friend to Bad Voltage, so thanks. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. System 76 flew him out of here.
Yes.
Out
I
here.
live miles away.
Yeah, he lives in Birmingham, which is a place none of you want to go to.
Wrong.
And then thank you also to Scale for making all of this happen.
Yes, big up
Come
to
on.
Scale.
One thing to mention from our friends at Ticketmaster is they're hiring, and they've got some pretty amazing jobs. They pay well. They've got jobs all over the US. Ticketmaster people, can you wave your hands? Where are you? All these people, they've got Ticketmaster t-shirts, and if you're interested in going to work there, awesome company, go and see them. So if you're looking to hire, they've got tons of positions
Yep.
available. All right, let's get on with it.
Right. So our first thing. How many of you have listened to the show before? Let's try that again. How many people have listened to the show before? Cheer. Thank you. So one of the things we do a lot is the news. These things have happened in the last week or so. So who's going to kick us off? Jono.
I think it's me. So, anyone heard of Meizu? Meizu had an Indiegogo Kickstarter campaign for a $1,300. They call it a holeless phone. There's no holes in it whatsoever, no charging plug. There's no button on the side. There's no speaker grill in this thing. It's absolutely useless. And,
It's not useless. It's a bloody brilliant idea.
if it was running a Ubuntu phone, it would have been way better.
Literally the only room on Earth where we'd get that chair for that comment.
Yes, that is definitely true.
Turns out, no one bought it. There's pretty much about no orders. They made about 30 grand, and we don't really know where the money comes from. So, has anyone here got a Meizu phone? Probably not, because they're mainly in China. Yeah, Popey.
Popey's got one.
You'll be disappointed by him later on. Interestingly, this was a disaster, and then Meizu came out and said, that was a massive joke. Our marketing department was having a laugh with you. Bollocks. That's what we think about that.
Now, what do we think about this? Do we think it really was a joke, or it just went so poorly that they just bailed?
The second one.
Think so?
It's obviously bullshit.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
Obviously, bloody ridiculous.
No one cared. Okay, what's next? I love
Now, this was cool, right? So, A Tech magazine, they did an advert, they did a feature piece about tech hipsters and how tech hipsters are all terrible people and what have you. And the guy who was, they used a picture to illustrate it. And the model guy tried to sue them. To say, this is totally unfair. You're using this picture of me to represent hipsters and saying they're terrible and that's really pejorative and so on. And it turned out the picture wasn't of him at all, but a completely different tech hipster guy. So we're now in the position where tech hipsters not only look the same to all the rest of us, they can't tell themselves apart from one another.
What I love is that there's one person in this room right now reeling with anger about this story.
I know.
Yeah, we don't know who you are, but you'll make yourself known later on. What's next?
All right, so this is one I'm guessing everyone in the crowd has heard. Recently, Zuckerberg came out and said that Facebook is going to be more privacy-focused moving forward. So this is an interesting news story in that I think this could be an entire segment in a future show. It very well may be, but we don't have quite that much time here. So I want to focus on, I think, one or two things and see what you two think, but also what the audience thinks, because I'm guessing this is something everyone has opinions on. So the first thing is, I think when he says privacy-focused, he means privacy external to the company. I think they want more of your data.
No.
And I think it's mostly just a marketing ploy.
No.
Agree or disagree?
Honestly, this is such bullshit that in order to shout it loud enough, I'd have to take a run-up.
So what's the crowd think? Is this do you think Facebook is going to legitimately change into a privacy-focused company? Because I think it is clear privacy-focused communication is going to be much more important in the future, as it should be. Yeah.
You want to stay private? Don't join Facebook.
Don't join
okay?
Facebook.
A good point, well argued. I think we all concur.
I suspect this is a sympathetic crowd. How many people are actually on Facebook?
Okay, right, so keep your hands up if you've got a Facebook account. Now put your hands down if you haven't used it for a while. Yeah, you see.
Oh, there we go. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know.
Now, you see, here's the thing I found out about Zuckerberg, which I didn't know. His house, wherever it is, he bought all the houses around it, and no one lives in them. So he gets some privacy. So he obviously believes in privacy, just not for us.
Who'd have thought it, eh? All right, so
Fuck you. I can't believe this is slides in there.
every year we do some predictions on Bad Voltage, and last year, every single one of us was wrong on every single prediction. We're not good at this.
We really did not do well.
In our predictions for this year, I said this.
I'm going to predict 5 companies that are going to IPO in the next year. And I would like to consider this the metric for this, that this is 1 if I get at least 3 of them right. Number 1, Uber. Number 2 is Peloton. 3, Lyft. 4, Slack. The 5th one is Cloudflare.
So, Uber are doing quite well. Lyft,
Shut up.
Slack, Peloton. These are product of Peloton down here, by the way.
What,
These
the trousers?
no, the trousers. You can't buy. Don't sue us, Peloton. So yeah, I think that we're doing quite well. I'm confident we're going to get 3 of the 5. Well, I'm going to get 3 of the 5. And you will both lose.
I will say he edits the audio for the slide deck, and that was some egregious editing there.
It was. Fake news. All right. What's next? Oh, this is my favorite one.
This is brilliant, right? Has anyone seen the Nintendo Labo? We talked about it a while back on the show. This is a thing for the Nintendo Switch where you can make stuff out of cardboard, and it's really cool, right? And does anyone remember Google Cardboard? The thing where you can have a cardboard VR headset and you could slot your phone into it and so on. And Nintendo went, we want some of that 2014 action. So they have built a thing, which is a Labo headset. And apparently what they've decided is you should look directly into a duck's arse and that takes you into the future. I'm not in Nintendo's marketing team. Maybe I'm missing a trick here, but I'm not sure this is fabulous.
That is unbelievable. Would anyone buy this? You know what? Our 6-year-old son, he's got Labo. It's awesome, okay? If you've got kids, it's really good. There will be no duck's arse in our house. Okay. All right.
Next, you up.
So this is the deal. We are somewhat opinionated people, and we believe we can fix most problems in the world. We're currently working on American politics. We haven't finished yet. We're getting there.
Barely even frigging started yet, to be honest.
So today we wanted to pick a problem that everybody dislikes. Certainly people in Los Angeles really don't like, and we figured as most of you are probably from Los Angeles, then you really will this will resonate very closely with you. This is the topic of traffic. How many of you commute to work? Yeah, some of you commute to work? What a bunch of nerds. You all sit at home, don't you? Brilliant. This is the way it should be. I'm the same. This is actually the 405 in LA. Big fans.
That is brutal.
So we figured...
Cheer for it. Look at it.
This is not going how I was expecting. So we figured we will each propose a solution to this problem, and then you can vote on which is the best solution. Ready? All right, we'll start with this handsome-looking individual. Big round of applause for Stuart.
So, how many of you don't live in a city? Give me a cheer if you don't live in a city. Not that many of you, but here's the point. If you don't live in a city, don't drive into the city, right? It's a stupid idea. Cities are terrible places. They're really grim. They're polluted and they're really expensive. And everyone in the city thinks you're a terrible country bumpkin who drives a tractor the whole time, right? Everyone in the city gets stabbed 9 or 10 times a day sometimes, right? And you have to go and spend $7 on a coffee you didn't even like anyway, right? And everyone there's got stupid little dogs that bite you and crap on the sidewalks and all this kind of thing. So, don't drive into the city. Second thing, give me a cheer if you do live in a city. Okay, so now we've kept all the hayseeds happy, right? You live in the city, that's great. Stay in the city, but are you nuts? Don't drive places. There's nowhere to park. And if you drive somewhere, you can't drink any cocktails. And if you don't want to drink cocktails, why do you live in the city? Right? I live in the city, just walk everywhere, or get a cab, or go on the tram, or go on the tube. It's all fine. Now, there may be a few of you out there who are thinking, but I live in the one country on earth where the cities are big enough that I have to drive, and there's no public transport. Now, I'm not sure entirely which country this is, but if you find yourself in that country, there is actually a perfect solution for traffic in your country too, and that solution is... Oh.
You're out of time.
Sadly, out of time.
Move on.
There's a time limit.
Yep, we put it in.
Did we neglect to tell you?
Oh.
Sorry, give him the clicker. Next up,
Then I'm going to have a beer.
round of applause for Jeremy.
So he just jumped right into a solution, but I think the best solutions are iterative. So what I'm going to do is iterate through what I went to, my thought process when I picked what I think is the optimal solution with no downsides, which was not an easy decision to come to. So the first thing I thought is, let's just start with the best of what we have now, but make it mandatory. So for instance, I don't have a particularly high-end car, but I do have a car, and it can, if I'm in the right city, it can communicate with the traffic lights. So it will actually say, if you slow down by 5 miles, you won't hit the next light. And I thought, if that was mandatory, that would really solve some of the problems, but you're on the highway, it wouldn't help, and it's just not good enough. So let's bump it up one. Every car has to be self-driving. Now, if you take the human element out of the equation, it's going to make things quite a bit better from where we were. But if there's a bunch of different manufacturers, they're going to have slightly different algorithms, there won't be enough data, still going to be some problems. Everything has to be a Tesla. Now it's the same car. Every car will know what every other car is, the hive mind will grow, traffic will be almost zero, it's going to be great. But then I realized, do I really want to live in a world where this is still a huge problem? And I think Elon Musk is awesome, but do we really want to leave everything in his hands? I wasn't so sure. So I thought, we got to bump it up again. We got to get more extreme. Ironically, as I was sitting in a cab on the way from JFK to Midtown, which is somewhere in between 25 minutes and 25 hours, depending on the traffic, came to me, one thing that I think is really cool, and this is real, this is Blade. So you can take a Blade from JFK or from LaGuardia to Midtown, east or west, 4 minutes guaranteed every time. Now that's getting somewhere. So how do we scale this? Well, you can only take helicopters everywhere you go. It's the only option. There are no roads, so there is no traffic. And you're thinking, well, that's not an American solution, right? America is a car culture. Problem solved. Look at that helicopter. You cannot get more American than that. So that's one issue out of the way immediately. Then you might be thinking, yeah, but I use Grubhub and Uber Eats. Solved. Not a problem. Then it's like I'm moving houses or I just bought something large. Solved. Not a problem. So I really think we're getting somewhere here. And then someone, is going to say, helicopters are pretty big. I don't have a lot of room. Where am I going to land that? Solved. So I really think this is the only solution, the optimal solution. If we want to get rid of highways being a parking lot, the air will look like this.
Give it up for Jeremy.
All right.
And finally,
My go.
excuse me.
I did mention he did the deck.
So, here's the thing. American drivers suck at driving. This is the problem. This is the crux of the issue. I think you learn here, from what I can tell. My son is going to be a brilliant driver when he's older. The other thing is you text and drive, which is bad, because you're usually arguing with other friends of yours about Donald Trump while you're texting and driving, and those are long conversations. And apparently in this country, no one's seen what this thing does. This is a fucking mystery to all of you, and the quicker you learn this, the better. So I have a few solutions to this, but we need to start with the vehicle. Most of you drive something that looks a little bit like this. You need to drive something that looks a little bit like this, okay? That's what needs to happen. Now, for the indicating thing, or the turn signals, as you savages call it, this is the solution from RoboCop. We need to install those in every single one of them. Now, I'm kind of ragging on America, but this has been my home for over 10 years now. I love America. I think it's a fantastic country. I love Americans. I love every element of America, not just the coast. I love the Midwest and everywhere else. You people are fantastic, right? But there is a simple solution to stopping the traffic problem, is that you only let British people drive. There are a number of benefits to this. First of all, won't get a lot of traffic on the roads. You will get considerably better drivers. And also, when you stop up at a service station, the fare that is on offer will be considerably better than anywhere else. So, make American driving great again with British people. All right. So, let's have a vote.
No, hang on. Where was your fucking buzzer?
We must have left that out, Jeremy.
Seems we did.
Fine, let's just have a vote.
All right.
See who's best.
Let's start with, right, round of applause based on volume for which is your favorite one. Stuart.
Excellent.
Jeremy. This guy.
And Jono.
Epic, epic. The Queen would not be proud.
I thought that was going well, but that
Speaking
wasn't.
even as a British person, right? Although I will point out that only letting British people drive solves the problem in Los Angeles, not so much where I live.
Oh, God. This is where we introduce the punishments, isn't it? So we realise that the losers, which is not good because I've lost.
Yes, because it's you.
Some of you who came to the first Bad Voltage show at Scale will remember that we used tape as a punishment.
We did.
Can you hold that?
We did get substantially better tape.
So
this
whoever
time.
loses, hold that.
Jack it off.
I would have never got on a stage with you if I knew this was going to happen. I'll say that.
Shh.
Grab a volunteer.
Yes, Elon. Elon Rabinovich. Here we go. Sorry? Right. Here is our punishment. No beard. Go on. Stick it on good and hard. Right. Hang on, we should have a countdown here, I feel. What do we think? So, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Do it again. Right, try it this time. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, burn that tape.
That was Scale tape. I'll put that down. All right, should we move on?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's move on.
All right.
So for this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the cloud, but instead of you listening to us talk about the cloud, which would, I assure you, not be interesting, we're going to bring up some people who actually know what they're talking about. So can we get Corey and Erica to come up on stage?
Round of applause.
Thank you, sir. Please, after you.
So as a quick intro, Eric Brescia is the COO and co-founder of Bitnami, also the better half of Mr. Brescia, who's been on stage the whole time. Corey Quinn is the author of Last Week in AWS and does quite a bit of other cloud-related things as well. So two people with deep, deep expertise in the cloud. So I figured we would start this off with more of a philosophical question, and that is, there's really no great numbers for cloud market. Who's leading the cloud market? We know is AWS. How much they're leading by, how much Azure has, how much GCP has, and the others, very difficult to ascertain with numbers that I would be comfortable with. But we can say AWS has a lead. In your opinion, in the, let's say, medium term, because on a scale long enough, like everyone is assailable, but in the medium term, is AWS, can they be caught?
I would argue that no one is untouchable. Everyone has kids and presumably people that care about them, and you can apply leverage that way.
This is a fair point.
Plus, I am told by Oracle Marketing that Oracle Cloud is going to take it over. They put all these ads everywhere. Save money by switching to Oracle Cloud. So you should save money by choosing Oracle. They're apparently marketing toward a demographic of people who've been smacked in the fucking head too hard. Seems plausible.
It seems save money with Oracle, definitely plausible. What do you think?
So before I answer this, just for the record, all of the major cloud companies are customers of mine.
Does that
and I'm under
include
NDA
Oracle?
with all of them. Yes.
Wow, they
Yes.
have customers?
They're a customer of ours. I'm not going to comment on the other part. But I have to be slightly more diplomatic than my very handsome and intelligent friend here.
He's over there.
You're okay too, honey. You're okay too. They have a huge lead. They were first to market by a considerable margin. I think the more interesting question is like, what's going to change the game completely? And I think we're a long time away from that. It's still very early in the cloud days. But sometime something's going to happen that's really going to tip the scales. Until then, I think we're going to have a very, very strong number 2 in Azure. But Amazon is so far ahead, it's going to take a while for anyone else to catch up.
Do either of you have a guess on what that change may be?
I would argue, if anything, it's that Amazon's product strategy is yes. So whoever you are at some point if you hold still long enough, or even if you don't, they will wind up competing with you. And for a number of companies, that's kind of a problem.
Sure. So I'm going to have a little bit more of a technical question now and a business question. So given that AWS has that lead, do you think that multi-cloud solutions are a reasonable solution and something companies should move toward, or no?
I still want to answer the last question.
Oh, okay. We'll back it up.
What I would say is interesting is what's happening with Kubernetes. I think it really is leveling the playing field in some very interesting ways. Microsoft has invested incredibly heavily. You know, there was the VMware acquisition of Heptio, reported at $550 million for a 70-person company. I'm not saying that's the right number. I'm just saying someone printed it. It may or may not be true. It was a big acquisition.
Sure.
They're making a huge bet on that. And, you know, the whole story of Kubernetes beyond, you know, automation and efficiency and everything else is portability. And it really does bring an opportunity to commoditize a lot of the infrastructure of cloud. So I think people are really going to have to innovate around the services and make them valuable enough that people actually want to build apps that tie into those services. So it'll be an interesting few years to see how that changes the game.
I think it will be an interesting few years. When she said Kubernetes, you could see the wheels spinning. Do you?
Hang on, let me put this down. This is a two-hander question. The easiest part of Kubernetes is spelling it.
That is true. I will grant you that.
It is named after the Greek god of spending money on cloud services.
That's a little known fact.
And the single problem that it solves universally for everyone is, what do I put on my resume? It's like, effectively, it's the second coming of OpenStack, and I'm sure that's going to win all kinds of friends here.
Whoa.
Counterpoint.
Them's fighting words, man. No way.
Counterpoint,
that was harsh.
Kubernetes came out of Google, which has the smartest engineers in the world. Just ask them. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. You don't have to ask them. They'll tell you on their own.
So thank you for answering that one. So moving on to what the second question was, do you think that given that all that multi-cloud is a reasonable solution, something that companies should be looking at, not looking at?
They're going to. It's just reality. I think it's interesting to see the number of companies who don't want to choose AWS for various competitive reasons. I mean, Jet.com, great example. Gap came out. They did a big deal with Azure. Companies in retail just refuse to run on AWS. And as AWS goes into more and more markets, food delivery services, supermarkets, all of the companies competing with them are starting to shy away. But beyond that, what I see a lot, so we have an enterprise product, and I talk to a lot of CIOs and CISOs, and they're choosing best-of-breed clouds for different solutions. And they also don't want to put all their eggs in one basket because they lose negotiating leverage. Like, they don't want to be all in on Amazon because then it's really hard to negotiate price. So what I see people doing is some groups go on one cloud, some groups go on another cloud. Even in the case of Gap, you know, they're doing some things on Oracle because they had a bunch of Oracle infrastructure already, and Oracle made sense for that, and Azure made sense for other things. That's not going to go away anytime soon. So.
Okay, I see Corey's starting to jump up and down with excitement.
Oh, yeah, no, I just have to wee. It's fine. No, in the interest of full disclosure, I am a consultant by day. I solve one problem. I fix the horrifying AWS bill. That said, I am not partisan. I do not have a horse in this race. I go for where the expensive problems are. Whenever I see large enterprises with big AWS bills, they're also, past a certain point, everyone is multi-cloud. It's just a question of scale. When I'm not seeing the same order of magnitude of problems across cloud. And usually the boundary of where going all in makes sense stops at a P&L, give or take. Where a different division is on something else, you just acquire something, well, time to pick them up and move them to Oracle Cloud because that's what we use, says no one ever. It's generally, past a certain point, having distinct boundaries makes sense. For me, what never made sense at all was the idea of a single workload being able to be deployed everywhere. That you're buying optionality at the cost of feature velocity. Yeah. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And with every cloud provider, credit where due, discounts are bounded by volume. So to some extent, there are additional discounts available by going all in some cases. It's nuanced and challenging, and we could probably do a 6-hour panel on this and get nowhere with it.
It's not usually where
So strap in. Bar's opening again. We're doing it.
I know you have another question, but I actually have a pretty interesting tidbit.
All right, I don't have another question.
Oh, okay. Well, I have an interesting tidbit. So I was looking at one cloud vendor's top target account list, and what was interesting is this was a 250 list of key accounts that they were going after in a particular region. One of their biggest competitors in the cloud was on the list. And I asked about it, and what they said was it's because there's so much M&A, and when companies buy other companies, one of the companies might already be on the cloud platform, and moving takes a lot of work, and so just by virtue of M&A, companies are ending up with cloud accounts and services and products running on every single cloud platform. And that was a little surprising to me. It wasn't something I thought about before. I mean, this is top 250 accounts. They're using a lot if they make it to the top 250 accounts.
Sure.
One of the interesting stories that I did a little research on the past week is in the past year, AWS's revenue has been $30 billion. Double that. Keep going. And you hit Dell's annual revenue in 2012. There is far more stuff in crappy data centers that we have all spent time in and have been trapped under burning racks because, well, maybe I worked for a terrible company and that's neither here nor there. But there's a lot of stuff out there. I would argue the biggest competitor is not each other. It's the status quo. It's keeping things where they are. And to some extent, if you take a look at cloud penetration, by some estimates, is at 5% now. If we take a look at global IT spend, I think that fighting over the scraps among each other is less common than people trying to get things out of data centers. There's so much more opportunity there, and you see that migration a lot more frequently than you do people going from any one of the big three to any of the others.
Which suggests that VMware might have some really interesting things planned with everything they're doing with Heptio and their entire, enterprise install base.
I think the accounting for bare metal is different as well. It's easier to either get it wrong or hide it in ways or just not understand it.
Or physically hide it under a desk, yes.
Where with the cloud, you get a bill, it is a line item, and you know to the penny what you spent in a way that you just don't if you're doing it yourself. So I think that was an interesting. I saw the same article through you actually. That was interesting to me and something that I would not have thought that's where Dell's revenue was versus AWS. So I think we're running up on time. Any other last points you want to make? Any other thoughts?
I think
What most interests you about the near-term future of the cloud?
Oh gosh. What I think is interesting and people underestimate is how much Microsoft's culture has changed over the past several years under Satya. I mean, this is evidenced by them joining the OIN and a bunch of other very significant moves that they've made recently. But they're also experts at building out an ecosystem, and that's something that's not entirely in AWS's DNA yet. And I think it's really important, going back to Corey's earlier point about AWS sometimes steps on their competitors, and there are jokes about, partners that are, steps on not their competitors or partners, there are jokes about people packing up their booths at reInvent. And Microsoft takes...
I'm not convinced that was a joke.
I saw it literally with my own eyes, but people also joke about it. But I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how Microsoft evolves now that they've really fully invested in cloud. And it's going to make it all the more interesting.
I think what's fascinating is just the pace of innovation only seems to be picking up. It's not just releasing virtual machines in VPC equivalents. It's releasing ridiculous things that no one could have seen coming until they announced it. Things that talk to space when satellites pass overhead. I promise I'm not messing with you.
No.
I mostly focus on AWS doing stuff like this, but the weird dichotomy for me has always been that they build these transformative, amazing, revolutionary technologies and give it such a stupid fucking name that I can't get there from here. I don't know how to square that circle. AWS Systems Manager Session Manager. Apparently they named that without ever saying it out loud, because even halfway through that sentence you realize it's ridiculous.
All right. Corey, thank you very much. If you're interested in the cloud, definitely subscribe. Last Week in AWS. Erica, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hang on. Something's happened.
Something terrible has happened.
Let's press that button. It's back!
It's back. Ooh. I better have 2 microphones.
It doesn't make you better. So, Erica, come up to the stage, please. It's her birthday today.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And we thought we'd have a sing-song. All right? Everybody now.
And this is a sing-along, by the way, to be clear.
Birthday
To you.
Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday, dear Erica. To you.
All right, let's go, everyone. Birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Erica. Happy birthday to you.
All right!
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you, we all appreciate it. Happy birthday, Erica. We're sorry Jono made us do it.
We're very sorry.
That hurt. Right.
All right. So, let's have a little bit of fun, all right?
Let's have a laugh. But, well, no, actually, no, before we do that.
Yes. So, we had this idea when we were designing the show to do a Jeopardy game show, which is what we're going to do today, which was quite complicated because as the 2 English people in the team, we don't really understand how Jeopardy works.
We've never... What happened?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you tell them.
So we were doing regular planning sessions, getting ready for this, and during one of them, I ended up being delayed on a flight for 6 hours and couldn't partake in the session. So I did a little debrief afterwards, and they showed me what they were going to do. And it was then clear to me when I suggested Jeopardy, and they enthusiastically agreed, neither of them had ever seen it in their lives. So they started showing me Jeopardy, and I was just like, it's one of my favorite shows. I died a little inside. So we're going to do pseudo Jeopardy, for lack of a better word.
It's not going to be Jeopardy, but it's going to look similar. I know the hex codes for the board.
The colors are perfect.
So, but obviously, then we found out the other day that Alex Trebek was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, which is awful.
We did.
Right?
Terrible.
And he's I'd say, an international institution, not just a
Yeah.
national
Yeah,
institution.
he's an
legend.
icon.
So we thought it'd be quite nice to take a picture of everybody, a video of everybody saying, "Get well soon, Alex," and we'll stick it up on Twitter. All right, so
Right, so you stand back far enough that you can see the audience.
let's have a bit of a...
And we'll count 3, 2, 1, and then you say, "Get well soon, Alex."
All right, let's have a practice
Okay?
run.
Practice run.
You do the count.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Get well soon, Alex.
All
That was
right.
very
Good work. Happy with that?
No,
So,
let's do it properly now.
yep, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Get well soon,
Alex.
Alex.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Give
you.
yourselves a big round of applause.
We'll send it to him. We're friends. Okay.
We'll say to him, so, since we're doing Jeopardy, we need a presenter.
We do.
I think we should bring the man, the legend. He's got a velvety baritone.
He really does have, actually.
He's got glassy, dreamy eyes. Alan Pope from Ubuntu. Come up to the stage.
Give it up.
This makes no sense. I know.
You stand there.
Hello,
You
everyone.
think it makes no sense, now you wait.
That's called a clicker. You press the button, it moves the slides.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Also, we ought to point out, it was pointed out to us during this planning session that we invited a third person who's English and has never seen Jeopardy to run the show.
So why don't we introduce our? So we're going to bring up some.
So we need some contestants.
Some contestants, right? Would you like to introduce them, Mr. Jeremy Garcia, or is he going to do it? What's he doing down there?
I think he's getting
I'm
ready
getting
to.
the buzzers.
Oh, he's getting the buzzers. Yeah. Nothing but the finest production values.
Shut
$10
up.
buzzers from Amazon. Okay.
So my counterpart is going to be Mary Grace. Are you in the crowd?
Where's Mary?
Hopefully.
Give her a big round of applause. She just wrote The Business Value of Developer Relations by A-Press. So come up here.
My counterpart is Matthew Wolster. Is that down here? Give him a big cheer.
Matthew Ulster. Dot Waffle. Where's Hannah?
Where is Hannah?
Is Hannah in here? There she is.
Hey!
She is a legend in the scale team. Give Hannah a big round of
Give
applause.
Hannah a big round of applause.
She doesn't look happy. Because we roped her in last time, so you're on my team as well.
Promise, you don't have to do this.
We're sorry.
Are
We got
ready?
buzzers.
Are we ready? Are you cheating having an extra player on your team, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay,
I will
good.
take every advantage I can.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
No.
Do the buzzers work?
They should work. Press the
Okay.
buzzer.
Christ.
Mine works.
So we've got cheapo Chinese buzzers, crappy.
Hey, this
whatever
is
these
$4.99.
things are.
We're
gonna
not
say,
getting
you-
back.
Right. Okay.
Should get a refund.
So let's get going. We start off with the categories in this special bastardized version of Jeopardy.
I should point out I'm British as well and I've never seen Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
I've been practicing.
I've
my
seen it on
British,
Saturday
so,
Night Live.
it's
That
okay.
counts, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So the categories for
I
this
like our odds. I like our odds.
game of Jeopardy. First up, Linux trivia. Ooh. Next category, tech gadgets. Third,
IoT.
they're just about tech. Third category, nerd life. I think we can all relate, right?
Which I have tattered on my chest. A little known fact.
And the final category, horses.
Hang on.
Oh dear. Now,
I have a horse.
in this special version of Jeopardy,
We're gonna get them all wrong.
I will hit the button and the magic Jeopardizer on Jono's laptop will pick a random category. We'll reveal the answer, and then each of the contestants get an opportunity to buzz in and then give their answer, whoever was first to hit the buzzer. If they win, I give them a prize. One of these special glow sticks. That's why they're here. And at the end of the game, the winner is the person with the most glow sticks. Or something like that. Yeah, it kind of all ties together. Right, so first round. Are we
Feeling good
ready?
about this?
There should be a sound effect here. Imagine there was a sound effect there. Thank you.
Hey.
Oh,
No,
okay.
because we did research.
we
I watched a
put them in
video on
Jeopardy.
YouTube. They don't have a sound effect.
Shut up.
But-
This is
but we
my
put them
section.
in Jeopardy.
Right,
That's
are we
what
ready?
makes it sound.
200 Linux trivia. The answer is Larry Ewing. That was totally Jeremy. I missed it. It was Jeremy, right? Jeremy, what's the question?
Who is the person? Do you know? Who is the person who originally drew the Linux penguin?
Is that the correct answer? Yeah, it totally is. Hang on, let me try that again. Jeremy. There we go. Dot waffle. Thank you. Okay, next round. Let's spin the Jeopardizer. Doodle, doodle, do. Right, $400 horses. Okay, let's reveal the answer. Are you ready with your buzzers, everyone?
Really?
Who buzzed? Did anyone see who buzzed that?
We did, apparently.
Okay.
Get stuck in.
Stuart and Dot Waffle. What's
does-
the question?
What does that look like in the morning?
Harsh.
I'm
Can I have
prepared
a
to
new
say
partner?
that's Probably correct.
Someone else can buzz in if they think they know the question. What is the question for this answer? Do we know?
No.
Okay. The answer
It's
is
also, it doesn't look like a horse.
Hey,
sorry, hang on. Sorry, I'm just looking at your mum's Instagram feed, Jono.
are we allowed to Google the answers as well?
The correct question is, what is Fleshman?
What?
This isn't about horses.
That's a horse.
That's a horse wanting to eat a carrot.
Oh, Flemen. Okay, I should have read this.
That makes no more or less sense.
What
than
is
the other thing
Flemen?
you said.
What
Okay.
is Flemen? Huh. That's almost the answer I have here. When horses look like they're laughing, but they're actually engaging in a special nose-enhancing technique, Losa's Femin, to determine whether a smell is good or bad. Okay.
Wow, very good.
Nobody won that?
I almost said that.
I feel a glow stick is required over here.
Not only that, you win a $100 Ticketmaster gift card as well.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So when we finish the show, come up here and we'll put you in touch with Ticketmaster.
And we'll sort that out.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, are we ready for the next round? I cannot hold all these devices. Okay, next round. Spin the Jeopardizer. Boodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. There we go. $400 tech gadgets. The answer is, are you ready with your buzzers? The answer is this. I think Jono got that. What's the question, Jono?
It could be one of two. What is this year's most pointless device that's been released? That looks like a PDA from the 1990s.
It's close. It's not quite what I have here.
But it's, what is the Samsung Galaxy Fold? Meh.
Yes. Yes, that's fair. Yes, Jono, you're right. Hang on, I can't take this off while I'm... Hang on.
Can I have a pink one?
Hoopla.
Thank you very much. Oh, dear. Am I getting paid for this?
That dog's racist.
Thanks. No. Right. Next round. Next round, let's spin the Jeopardizer. $600, Nerd Life. Are you ready for the answer? Everyone on their buzzers? John Spencer and Michael Madsen. Who was first? That was...
I know this one. Didn't know the horses one. I know this one. Who were the two people in the opening scene of War Games?
Oh, correct answer. Turn the damn key. Yes, you're right.
I get a glow stick. Give me a glow stick.
This will be good.
Oh no, I broke it.
Super expensive. Hang on, Stuart. I've got more. Don't worry.
Hey!
I thought that was going to take the rest of the show time up doing that.
What's next?
Okay, no, next round.
Clicker.
Yeah, I know. So next round, spin the Jeopardizer. 1,000 Linux trivia. Okay, you ready with the answer? Ready with your buzzers?
This is the big
one. The answer is less than 1%. What's the question?
What is the people in this room that knows the answer to that question?
You get a bonus ring.
I think you need to get that one. If that landed on the dog, we were going to have a problem, by the way.
Does anyone actually know the answer? Can I throw it to somebody else? Does anyone
right,
actually know the answer? No.
No.
Okay. Do I know the answer? Oh my gosh. It's how much of the... Oh, the audience.
Let's see if the audience knows.
The audience...
Oh. Where is Linux desktop penetration?
I mean, yeah.
But no.
Yes, very good.
Evidently, they haven't heard 2019 year of the Linux desktop.
You know what? You get a $100 Ticketmaster gift card. At the end of the show, come up here.
Okay, the correct answer for... Oh, sorry, the correct question. I do know how this works. How much of the code base reflects Linus Torvalds' direct contributions to Linux?
Ooh.
1%.
So he's a faker then?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
All right, next round.
I
Let's
see
get
why
moving.
this was $1,000 question now.
Spin the busy thing. Right, tech gadgets, are we ready? The next answer is 12,814,216. What's the question? Jono was first. Jono, what's the question?
What was the amount of money raised by the quite legendary Ubuntu Edge handset device?
That is the correct question, Jono.
Highest
Quite
funding?
legendary.
Man, see, I was just behind you because I was going to say the same thing, apart from I was going to point out that B, the project failed, and C, Jono ran it.
Also, can I point out that when Jono left the company, he took the last engineering sample of that phone with him.
It's in our kitchen drawer.
12 million for that.
Oh,
oh dear.
I still really want an Ubuntu Edge, though.
Yeah, move on. Right, next round. Spin the busy thing. 600 horses.
serious.
Are you ready?
I didn't know you were going to
The
have
answer
someone who
is
actually had a
10
horse.
gallons. What's the question? 10 gallons.
What is the contents of a horse's stomach?
10 gallons. No, dot waffle. Anyone else? Throw to anyone else? Do either of you know the answer?
The amount a horse can piss in a day.
That's a good answer, but it's not the right answer. No.
You're
Is
so
anyone in the audience? No.
you're so
10
poetic,
gallons?
by the way.
Yes. Drink in a day.
that seems more reasonable.
No, that's not what I've got here. Anyone? Yeah, I think.
Don't know if I
Anyone
wanna
else
see what
know
you've
the
got
answer
there.
to 10 gallons?
Anyone else?
Category
Yeah, it is.
horses.
Someone
Man
at the back.
What?
Blood in a horse. No. How much
Okay.
they shit in a day?
They need a better diet. They're shitting gallons.
Your audience is grim. It really is.
Can I offer another answer?
Yes.
What is the type of hat you're supposed to wear when you're riding a horse?
Ooh. You get a bonus.
See what you did there.
I like our odds.
Any other ideas? We don't know. Oh. Hang on, Corey.
In horses. How? I don't know. Okay, so let's give you the question. It's what I have here is it's close. How much saliva does a horse produce in a day?
It's a stat I'm not
really?
sure I needed to know.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Drooly.
That's
Okay.
unbelievable. In
Next
that I
round.
literally don't believe.
I know, right? Hey, I didn't write the questions. I somehow have them on my phone. Next round. Oh, look, horses again. Fantastic.
Suspicious amount of horses in there.
1,000 horses. The answer is 4. Who? Oh, come on. Right, 4. What's the question?
How tall a horse is? It's 4 hands. It's a measurement.
How tall is 4 hands? Is that the answer?
We've had 4 hands. That's not the answer I have here. Randall gave us, it's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Unfortunately, that's not the answer I have here, I'm afraid.
Hang on, we've got a theory.
Oh, Stuart.
Is it?
How many legs do horses have?
Yes. It's exactly what I have here.
Dropping knowledge over here.
Nice one. Okay, that's the
You see-
end of that. And we get a special bonus round.
I don't remember Final Jeopardy looking like this.
No, you're really being spoiled here. You really are, all you Jeopardy fans. Okay, so this is a bonus round. It's a challenge round for each of the contestants. We're going to play a little bit of music now from the past, and you each have to tell me what the next line in this catchy song from Microsoft from the past is. So you need to each come up with a lyric that follows on from the last line of this. So let's play the tape.
It's new. We're introducing something new. It's essential for all, the many and the few.
It's in your store. Microsoft, that's who.
The MS-DOS 5 upgrade is a hit.
Okay, so were you listening there?
I cannot stress this enough. This is real.
So the last line there was, the MS-DOS 5 upgrade is a hit. What's the next line? The MS-DOS 5 upgrade is a hit. You have 30 seconds to come up with your next line. You can all play along. Come up with your own next line that would come up after the MS-DOS 5 upgrade is a hit. Was it a hit? Really? I always thought 622 was the best version of MS-DOS. But what do I know? I thought Novel Netware was quite good. Okay. So, each of you have to come up with the next line after the MS-DOS 5 upgrade is a hit. Stuart and Matthew.
You won't miss OS2 just a bit.
Oh, threw in a bit of nostalgia and a bit of a sick burn at OS2 there. Well done. Jeremy, your next line.
With all that saliva, horses must love to spit.
Ooh, that's a throwback there to a callback to an earlier gag. Well done, Jeremy. Jono, your team.
We're going to go with, it will only turn your computer into literal shit.
Ooh. We were all thinking it, weren't we? Yeah.
Gotta go for the easy one.
Okay, so you guys get to choose who was the winner. So, Matthew, what was yours again? And then we'll cheer the loudest for whoever you think is the winner. Matthew's was?
You won't miss OS2, not just a bit. We've lost.
Wow, room full of OS2 fans.
Yeah. Too soon, too soon. Yours was?
With all that saliva, horses must love to spit.
Dig the horse reference.
Vote for the dog.
And yours was?
It will turn your computer into literal shit. Sometimes
You have
simple is
decided Jono's team is the winner, I think. I have a purpose in life. And that's the end of our stupid bit.
Round of applause for Popey and
Give it
our
up for Popey.
contestants!
And give it
Round
up
of
for
applause
our
for
3
everybody.
guests.
Thank you.
All right. Can I grab that? Okay. I think it's important. Just get back up here, Popey. Get back up here.
Yeah.
We need to reinforce just how wonderful this guy is. What? Where did he go? Okay. There. It's wobbly.
I'm glad this is broken.
There
we
it
go.
is. There it is.
There we go. Okay. Well, thank you, Popey. You're a king among men. Thank you very much. Bugger off.
Fuckers.
Give it up.
Oh, it's getting wobbly. What is going on with this? There's a loose cable somewhere down there. Did you kick that? Okay. All right. Anyway, we're about done. So thank you again to Ticketmaster. Remember, the bar is about to reopen. There's going to be some great
It is.
food. All because of Ticketmaster. Put your bandanas on. Have a great time. Give them a big round of applause,
Yes,
please.
give them a big round of applause.
Thanks again to System 76 as well and Scale.
System 76 and Scale. And again, just want to reiterate, Ticketmaster are hiring. There's a lot of people here who've got some really cool jobs all over the US. And we have two more gift cards to give out, don't we?
We do.
Let's do the. Do you want to do the furthest
Yeah,
one?
yeah, let's do the first one. So a quick thing. Everybody stand up. Right. So sit down if you traveled less than 100 miles to get here. We'll get to you.
We'll get to you.
Sit down if you traveled less than 500 miles to get here. Less than 1,000?
Oh, we have quite a few folks from
Less
quite
than
a ways.
2,000? Less than 5,000?
Oh, here's where it's getting serious.
Oh, hang on, right. So how many people have we still got standing up? Wave if you're still standing up for this.
1, 2,
So,
3,
one-
4, 5.
We've got some people.
We have one person verifying.
We have one person checking. So, how far did you come? Or where'd you come? Where'd you come from? If you don't mind me. if you
What
don't mind
country?
me
He's looking it up exactly.
5,800
Can anyone beat 5,800?
Okay.
Up.
Hugh. How
Hugh.
many? 10,000. Okay. He lives in Australia / New Zealand. I know that for sure. So, anyone further away?
Anyone further away than Australia or New Zealand?
What, the moon?
Going to be difficult to beat.
I think Hugh wins a gift card.
Yes. Okay. Gift card for you. Well played.
All right. We've given out 3, I think. We have 2 more.
Yes.
Oh, we've got 2 more. We've
Have we
got 2 more
given out
now. Okay. Right. So then the next question is, Who's been to, you just cheer for this one, who's been to at least one scale? Cheer if you've been to at least 2 scales. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not even getting quieter at all.
I was going to say, you might want to
8,
skip a number.
9, 10, 11, 12. How many scales have there been? Oh, yeah, 17, it says.
You don't count.
Ilan does not get to win. Has anyone been to all 17? That guy there. Anyone else?
Oh, and the ones before scale.
And he gets
Okay,
a
so
Ticketmaster gift card.
so there have been 17 scales and you've been to 20 scales. Give that guy a gift card.
Yeah.
Come up and see us afterwards.
All right, you get a gift card and a bottle of Xanax. Okay. I think we're done.
And have we got one more?
We got one
gift
more.
card?
Should we do shortest?
Yes, okay. So, everybody stand up.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. I'm not going to make you do it again. Sit down if you travelled more than 10 miles to get here. Sit down if you travelled more than 5 miles to get here. You realise this is going to end up with who lives in the Sheraton, right?
Yeah, the hotel doesn't count, by the way. This is where you...
The question is, who travelled the shortest distance to get here? So, we have someone standing up. How far did you travel to get to scale?
2 streets away.
Okay. Anyone 1 street away?
Did you just wander in? You chose your apartment because of the closeness to the venue.
Wow.
Great.
And for that, you get a Ticketmaster gift card.
You get a Ticketmaster gift card. Come and talk to us afterwards.
If you want a Ticketmaster gift card, is Laura from Ticketmaster in the room? You see this wonderful person here who provides all the drinks and the food
Here
and everything?
she is in the middle.
She's going to give you a gift card, so please go and see Laura right there.
Please go and see Laura.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, should we get out of the way and let people get out of the bar? Thank you very much.